So, another major transfer has just gone through this morning, and Luis Diaz is a Bayern Munich player. £65 million, €75 million for the deal. And to be honest, I think this is really, really good business all round. We'll start off with Bayern Munich, the team that have signed Luis Diaz. I think it is a necessary signing for them. They've had difficulties, I think, in the wide areas over the last few seasons. It's why they signed Michael Olise last summer, and he absolutely hit the ground running. They have obviously lost Leroy Sané to Turkey. They've lost Musiala due to the horrific injury he suffered in the Club World Cup. And if you sort of look at the other options, how they've played in the Bundesliga last season, and obviously how they performed in the Club World Cup, the likes of Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman not really performing at the sort of levels that they were hitting a couple of seasons ago. And they need more options in the attacking areas. Like we said, Sané's moved on, Musiala's injured, Thomas Muller has moved on. So realistically, they've now only got Kane up front. They've not been able to sign Waldemata yet. They've got Olise, they've got Gnabry, they've got Coman, they've got an injured Musiala. So they needed more options in those attacking areas. And I think Luis Diaz is a fantastic option for Bayern Munich. You think that he can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can even play potentially down the middle as well if necessary. But the thought of them having Olise on one side, Diaz on the other, it's going to be a serious threat. Again, you think about how they crashed out of the Club World Cup earlier this summer, losing 2-0 to a 9-man Paris Saint-Germain. They really did actually struggle to generate significant chances in behind in the wide area. Harry Kane's been doing his Harry Kane thing, dropping in, creating the space, and then playing those balls in behind. And I just don't think those wide players have got the sort of energy that they had done in their previous years. And now bringing in someone like Luis Diaz, albeit at 28 years of age, I think is a very good signing for Bayern Munich. He's obviously going to be fantastic in the Bundesliga, but as they look to rebuild in Europe, especially, I think he's going to be a fantastic signing for them. He's going to be a serious, serious threat, whatever side of the pitch he's playing on for Bayern Munich. And like I say, £65 million, I think that's a pretty decent deal for Bayern Munich. I think you are going to get at least 2 or 3 more really good years out of Luis Diaz in a league which on paper is not as strenuous as the Premier League. And obviously for Diaz, he's going to get the wages he wants. He's going to get regular starts, which he may not have been guaranteed to have at Liverpool with the competition with Cody Gakpo. So all round, like I say, for a Bayern Munich perspective, from a Luis Diaz perspective, I think it's a really, really good bit of business from Bayern Munich. Relatively decent fee, and Luis Diaz is going to be moving on to potentially bigger and better things at Bayern Munich. Obviously, that depends on how you feel about Liverpool's chances in the Premier League this season. As for Liverpool, again, I think it's a good bit of business from them as well. He was moving into, I think he had 2 years left on his current deal. He obviously wanted to move away. He was on very, very low wages at Liverpool, which is why he wanted to move away. Liverpool obviously wanted to keep him, but they didn't want to lose out on potential revenue from bringing him, that he could bring in if he did leave. And like I say, £65 million for a 28-year-old with 2 years left on his current deal. I think it's some really, really smart business from Liverpool. Brings in a lot of revenue, which they can spend on potential replacements. And that is the real focus now of what are Liverpool going to do next, because they have kind of left themselves a little bit short in that attacking line, if you are to believe the rumours floating around about certain other departures at the moment. They've obviously got Ekitike, who's come in to play up front. They've got Salah to play on the right, and they've got Cody Gakpo to play on the left. But with constant rumours that Chiesa is basically already gone, they still have no particular interest in keeping Darwin Núñez, and obviously the tragic passing of Diogo Jota. Now that Luis Diaz has left, they are a little bit light in those attacking areas of the pitch. Now, obviously, Harvey Elliott can play on the right. They've got this youngster who I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name, playing really well in pre-season. He can obviously play on that left-hand side. But at 16, is he ready to make that step up to the Premier League? What are they going to do if Gakpo does get injured? It does kind of leave them without an established Premier League left winger. So all this talk about signing Alexander Isak, well, in my opinion, that wouldn't be smart business at the moment. Certainly not until they find a replacement that can go in that left wing position. I'm going to throw it out there. Could they make a sneaky move for Jack Grealish? I don't think that would be the worst idea in the world. Maybe picking him up on loan to play in that position. But I don't know. I'm just going to throw that one out there as a potential suggestion. But I do think Liverpool now need another left-wing option should Gakpo now pick up any potential injuries. But again, puts them in a relatively good position. Gives them 65 million into the account. Obviously, I don't think it's all up front. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think it's all up front. But they are obviously actively pursuing Alexander Isak. They're going to need to build up that £120 million deal. So getting 65 million in for Luis Diaz is essentially half of that already. So, like I say, I think it's good business from Liverpool. I think it's good business from Bayern Munich. I think it's a good move for Luis Diaz. What will this mean going into the new season? And what will it mean for the rest of this transfer window? We shall see, but it's an interesting situation. I think Liverpool may have left themselves a little bit short, but if they can get the right replacement in for him and leave some money left over to now pursue Isak even further, I think this could turn out to be a very, very smart move for Liverpool come the end of this window. So, as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Luis Diaz is a Bayern Munich player. What does that mean for Bayern's chances at the Champions League this season? And what does this mean for Liverpool's chances at the Premier League and the Champions League this season? Let me know down in the comment section below. Drop a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.